Salvete omnes. Today we are going to start adjectives. And as always, we want to kind of think about what that means in English, okay, before we translate it to Latin. So in English, an adjective is a word that modifies or describes a noun. So we could take any noun. In front of me are desks. Let me take a desk, okay, and let's put adjectives to that desk. So we could say, oh, a big desk. Big would be an adjective. A small desk. Small would be an adjective. A blue desk, a brown desk. Okay, so you can tell adjectives are describing words. And just like in English, we have adjectives in Latin. Now, we have two adjective declensions, and this is a little bit tricky because the first adjective declension is called first, second declension adjectives. And sometimes people think that's two separate declension of adjectives, but it's really just one adjective declension. And it's called first, second declension adjectives because this adjective declension has the same endings as first and second noun declensions, okay? So when you get these in your vocab, this is what it's going to look like. This is one of my favorite words, so I'll use this one. Bonus okay? So they write out the first word in the masculine, bonus, okay? Then they just give you the feminine and the neuter ending, the nominative singular, bonus and they'll all be like that, tutus and magnus That's going to be our model that we'll look at in a second. So this one is declined just like servus. Okay, that's our masculine model for second declension. This one will be declined just like terra, same endings for the feminine, and then neuter will be declined just like bellum. So if you already know those endings, you are in a good place. Okay, so now you're going to find our model adjective in the grammar, page 14. Okay, and in ecclesiastical pronunciation, this model would be manus. Okay, manus That's a little bit confusing sometimes for kids to understand what I'm saying, so I say magnus Okay, that is much more the classical pronunciation, magnus So go ahead and turn in your grammar book to page 14, and you'll see that. And indeed, it says right up there, the masculine is declined just like servus. The feminine, they say like porta. Well, our model is terra, so I put terra. Okay, and the neuter like bellum. Okay, so you could just go through and look at all those and you'll see the endings are exactly the same as our first, second declension nouns. Okay, so now it's important, one of the things that's most important for us to understand about adjectives is in Latin, they have to agree with nouns, okay? So when we're talking about the desk in English, big never changes. It's always big desk, big rug, big light, big is always B-I-G, okay? Same with small. Those letters don't ever change. But in Latin, okay, the endings are going to change to agree with the nouns. So we say that adjectives and nouns in Latin must agree in 3 ways, okay? So we'll say adjectives and nouns must agree. This is very important. This is why we need to know what gender every noun is. Because adjectives and nouns in Latin agree in gender, they agree in number, and they agree in case. So gender, we have 3 choices. Okay, masculine, feminine, or neuter. Number, it's either going to be singular and plural. And case, right now we are working on 5 cases, right? Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, or ablative. Okay, so every noun and adjective are going to agree in those 3 areas. But it's important to know that it will not agree in declension. So any adjective can modify a noun in any declension. You know, we have 5 declensions. So you could have a first, second declension adjective modifying a 5th declension noun, and those endings aren't going to look the same, okay? But they're going to agree in gender, number, and case, okay? So let me just show you some examples of how this works, okay? Let's just pick any 3 nouns. We'll pick gate, okay, porta, okay? Let's pick king, rex, and let's pick, we'll pick war, okay? War, and we could pick, okay, so I picked a feminine, a masculine, and a neuter, okay? And let's just use the word large, because that's, you could be looking at this right here, and that's our word for large. Okay, so if we want to say we have a large gate, okay, we're going to say, okay, this noun is nominative, it's singular, and it is gate, first declension. Oh, that's feminine, okay? So it's going to be feminine, okay? So I'll go to my chart here and I'm gonna go, okay, I've gotta do nominative, singular, feminine. Oh, so in the large I'm going to use, the ending is A, so it will be magna, okay? I'll just put it over here. I'm gonna use magna. I hope I can still see on the video. Oh, let me move it just a little bit. There we go, magna. Okay, now those look the same because this is a first, second declension noun. It's a first declension noun, so the endings are exactly the same here. But let's go on to this third declension noun, which is rex. We could say the same thing. Okay, we're still working on nominative, singular, but this time it's masculine. Okay, so let's go to our chart. Nominative, singular, masculine. Ah, this time magnus, right? Okay, so I'll put that over here, magnus. Ah, that is indeed nominative, singular, masculine, but it doesn't match rex in its ending because rex, remember, is a third declension noun. Now, they're still matching in gender, number, case, just not, the ending doesn't always look identical, okay, because their declension is different. And if we were to do bellum, I know, let's put bellum in the genitive singular, okay, just so we can do something a little bit different. Okay, we do a different case. Oh, let's do genitive plural. That's fun. Genitive plural, aurum. Okay, bellorum of the wars. Okay, so now we have genitive plural, and we know bellum is neuter, so that's going to be neuter. So now all of a sudden, we go here, and we're going to the neuter column, and we're going to the plural and the genitive, and our ending is going to be aurum also. So we'll get magnorum. Okay? So you see how they're matching in gender, number, and case. Okay? So as you go along, okay, you're going to have these sentences like you've had all along, and you're going to have to decide is this adjective modifying? Because you know in a sentence you have lots of different nouns, okay? And you've got to determine, do we have a big king or do we have a big gate? You know, which one is it going? So you think to yourself, okay, I'm looking at that adjective, what ending, gender, number, case, and then I'm going to see, oh, well, that's got a nominative ending. Oh, I'm going to modify this one, okay? There's something also important to realize about these adjectives, and that has to do with position. Okay, so adjectives of quantity, size, how many. Okay, so adjectives of quantity go, I'm just going to use easy words, go before the noun. Okay, they'll say proceed, but we'll just say go before the noun. So adjectives of quantity go before the noun, and adjectives of quality, like good or bad, okay, come after the noun. And if you keep that rule in your mind, it will also help you to figure out which noun it's modifying. Okay, so let's just take a sentence, and here's a good one. Okay, longum augmen in altos montes Bennett. Oh, I'm sure oh no, it's still in good. Okay, so you have longum has quantity. Okay, so it's going to go before the noun it modifies. Now, augment is neuter. Okay, neuter nominative singular, and that's why longum is also neuter nominative singular. And look, I have another adjective here, altos. Okay, that has to do with high or deep. Also quantity, so it's going before the noun it modifies. So you know that is modifying montes. Okay, so, oh, look, I got a prepositional phrase. I like to keep those things together. So we have the long column comes into the high mountains. Okay, so we kind of we got two here that were actually quantity, but you'll see as you go along that's not always going to be true. Okay, a lot of them will be quality. Okay, so one more thing before off you go to working is we get a new preposition this time. Okay, so let's look about this, and don't forget to learn all your vocab. Okay, make sure that you are doing your Quizlet or you're making flashcards. There's so much vocabulary that you need to keep track of, so I really want to encourage you on this. Okay, so there's vocab before these two pages you need to learn, but I want to look on page 78 where we get a new preposition. Okay, we get the preposition pro, okay, which takes the ablative case. So go ahead and put that under your ablative column in your notebook as you're taking notes. Okay, it takes the ablative case, and this preposition means quite a few things. Okay, it can mean in front of, or before, or on behalf of, or for. We're going to use this a lot when we say we're going to pray for somebody, we're going to fight for somebody. Okay, so when you say, oh, the king is fighting for his men, pro hominibus, okay, fight for. Okay, this isn't the case of using the dative case. Okay, so praying or fighting for, we'll use pro. Okay, so there's lots of new words to think about when you are learning these new adjectives. But remember, they're all going to come, if it's a first, second declension adjective, they're all going to come in that same form as bonus aum or magnus aum. Okay, so go ahead, learn all your vocab from lesson 7 before you move on to lesson 8. Okay, go ahead and do all your exercises that I've assigned you. Okay, matching your nouns and your adjectives in gender, number, case, but not declension. And I will be back to talk about third declension adjectives really soon.